Hello everybody and welcome back for our next episode of Driving My Truck. So we ended off our last episode where we were in, hold on, getting there. We were in Santa Maria. Now this one does have one going to Santa Cruz, which is to the north. It is the highest paying. So I believe that is where we are actually going to go, because it is the best paying that we have. Now, we are going to set the GPS. It does say that it expires in 58 minutes, so maybe we should go to Barstow, because that one does have 8 hours. And there is something else I really wanted to do. You know what? They're both picking up at the same place. Let's go ahead and try this one, if we can get there in time. Okay, everybody, welcome back. So we didn't make it in the time that it said. However, a new one popped up with Dynamite. Yes, so we have Dynamite going to Santa Cruz, same place we were going before, but this one expires a lot later. So we are going to take this one and we will go get loaded. So let me see, it looks like we're going to that side. So I need to go around. Nope, probably best if I don't try to start out in 5th gear. It's probably a good thing. So it looks like we go around here, and it should be over here on the right. If I'm looking at everything correct. Should be over there. There we go. Now this is going to be fun to try to get a trailer around, because we have to try to bypass these cars. Yes, bypassing cars that are right in a loading area. Because that's exactly where you park a car, right? Looks like we could actually back up here. And then go over this way. And then back it up. See a little flashing things on the ground there. So I'm hoping we're backing her up right. Looks like we're doing a good job here. Seems like we're doing a better job of backing up when we're getting loaded than when we're not. Okay, and we got all loaded.
Ready to roll.
If you notice, there are a few differences that are actually happening right now. So, the sounds. Yes, we added in a few mods for sounds. Yes. So we got those added into there now. So the reason I'm doing this is that was a really sharp corner. So I'm hoping I can cut the trailer a little bit. And then cut the truck. And that way we can make it out of here without hitting anything. Because again, I don't want to hit anything. I know last time I know what I said. But this time is going to be different, I promise. It'll be different. I won't be infatuated by a boat. So, yeah. Well, at least I hope I won't be infatuated by a boat, seeing as how I now know that that boat is there. Okay, we're taking a right out of here.
Turn right.
Looks like we're clear that way, clear that way. what's going on with 4? 4 for some reason does not like me. Does not want to ever go into 4th gear anymore. Let's go ahead and get that speed up. See if we can make it up this hill with this heavy load. I forgot that I still had that on. Let's go ahead and turn that off. We got the map right there in our dash that we're using. Still in 7, but we're making it. We're making it. So if you did notice some other changes that we have, if you look at the actual roads, I did find a realistic road pack. I believe it what it is. It's meant to heighten the roads, so the roads actually look a little bit better. And they do. They actually look like real roads, where the side of the road is a little bit more asphalt looking, stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with the sound of the engine brake. It's cutting out. I do have the mod for the engine brake that you need when you put in the truck sounds. So I do have those added into there as well. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Another thing is if you look to the right, you will see construction cones. Yes, they added in realistic construction cones, so now we have that. Another mod that we have, if you notice, I'm going a little bit slower on corners because I have realistic physics. So if our truck isn't actually powerful enough for a load, it's not going to go up anymore, just like before. So that's another reason why I want to get that what is it, 6x4, is because I want to try to make it that way we can make sure we're going up and down those things, up and down the hills. Now, I know that I said that we wanted to be able to do those, but we might not be able to do the really heavy ones anymore until we get a little bit better of a truck. Until the truck's a little bit better. Until we get that 6x4 or we get the 8x6. Even an 8x4 I think would be good. So once we can get those better, then we can start doing the really heavy loads. But until then, I think we might have to just stay with doing the medium-sized load, using our truck that we have along with our trailer. So trailer, I don't think they can actually add enough weight into there to actually overload us. I don't think they actually could. It would be very hard to actually overload this trailer with more weight than our truck can actually handle. That is one thing. But I do like the roads. It did heighten the roads a little bit. I am waiting for them to come out with 1.41 where they revamped California a little bit. So I do not think I'm going to do the beta on that one. I know I did the beta for 1.4, but I think I'm going to hold off on the beta for 1.41 due to the fact that Truckers MP just finally went to 1.4. And I'm enjoying going out with the people in my BTC and doing some drives. Yeah, we have done some drives lately, stuff like that. So I am enjoying doing that with them again. I couldn't do it for, 5 months? I wasn't able to drive on Truckers MP because I was in the 1.4 beta. Yes, 1.4 beta took forever for Truckers MP to actually upgrade to. I don't know why, but hey. So for some reason my audio has actually cut out while I was actually doing this video. I have no idea why it cut out. However, I am going to just narrate for the remainder of the video. So I was talking about Truckers MP and how they took a long time to upgrade. I'm not going into 1.4. I'm not actually going to do 1.41. The reason is I want to make sure that I'm able to still go out with the VTC and actually drive with them. Now, on the other hand, the reskin that's going to come out, it's going to take a little while for Truckers MP to upgrade to 1.41, but at the same time, I still want to be able to drive with the VTC. Now, I haven't been able to drive with them. It took a long time, so it's nice to be able to drive with them again. And yeah, I'm not going to do the 1.41 just for that simple fact. And going through all the different mods that I just added onto this profile. So we already went over the road. So we have the realistic road, which is added onto there, and it looks amazing. I cannot believe how nice that actually is. Another one that I did is I did the the engine sound mod for SCS trucks. Added that one on, so that way we could try to see if we could have a little better engine sounds and turbo sounds and stuff like that. Now, in addition to those ones, I added in the brake sounds, the air brake sounds, so that way we could make sure that we're actually having the air brakes actually make the sounds that they're actually supposed to. In addition to that one, I wanted to add in more sounds, so I added in when we actually shift. It's actually making the air release noises when we're actually using the different gears. So if I go from 7 low to 7 high, there's actually an air sound for the air actually coming out. And I really do like that mod. I can't believe that I never knew about that mod and I never had that mod before, because it actually adds a little bit more into there. So I did add that one in as well. Additional to that one, and the physics, which I already went over, and the realistic roads, there wasn't that many more that I added. It was really nice being able to do that. I actually went in to look for the actual engine sounds due to one of my subscribers actually stating in one of my previous videos that I should actually go in and actually do these modifications. And he suggested doing the engine modifications. I asked him if he had any that he would recommend. He gave me the name of a modder to actually use. So that is actually the engine sounds that I'm actually using. I'm actually using one of the modders that he actually recommended. So I did end up adding that one in. Now, if you notice that the screen is not moving at all in this section, I added in some hotkeys for my track IR. The reason for that is I wanted to be able to not have my head moving all over the place while I'm actually driving. So if I'm just going down the road and I'm going down a freeway like this, I don't have to look right, look left, anything like that. I'm just driving straight down the road. I just need to look straight ahead. I don't really have to look right or left unless I'm merging. And if I'm merging, I can use the hotkeys to enable track IR again to then be able to look at my mirrors. But I can see in the blind spot mirror in the hood. I got both of those, so I can see next to me on both sides. I also am sitting in the seat where I can actually see the driver's side mirror. So I can use those if I need to. But other than that, when I'm watching these videos and I'm editing them, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, my head is moving a lot while I'm actually recording these videos. The camera's just moving all over the place at all times, and I didn't want people doing that and getting seasick from how much my head was moving all over the place. So I ended up adding in the hotkey so that way I could turn it off and it would just look straight ahead. That's all it does, is it looks straight ahead of me, and that's it. That way I don't have to worry about the whole people getting seasick while they're watching these videos. So I'm probably going to be using that more. You'll probably see it in at least the next 3 to 4 videos. I do pre-record videos, so by the time this one's out, I might have 1, might have 2, or I might have 3 videos recorded. The reason why I might have more of them is I record when I can. So I'm actually recording these when my disability allows me to. I can't just decide one day, you know what, I want to record another video, so let's go over to the computer and record one. No, I have to actually record them when my knee allows me to. So if my knee is really bad one day, there's no chance I'm going to be able to get behind the computer to be able to do any kind of recording. I'm pretty much just stuck, not recording. I can't edit. I cannot do anything while I'm actually in pain. Because, again, I have to use my legs. I have an 18-speed shifter, so I have to be able to use the accelerator, which hits my right leg. That is the actual problem. So trying to use the accelerator in this game is just like if I was trying to drive my car, or if I was trying to walk and stuff like that. It just doesn't work sometimes. So I'm trying to record when I can, so I always have content for you guys. Now with putting out the 3 videos, I put out 3 videos last week. I'm not sure if that one's gonna work. So I'm battling with a really bad internet as well. I live way out in the middle of nowhere. So the only internet options I have is I have satellite internet, which has data caps. I have LTE, so cell phone towers. I have those, and those are also data caps as well. I have been trying to see if I can get into Elon Musk's new Starlink. So I'm trying to see if I can get into the beta for him, because he has a beta going on around here. So I'm trying to see if I can get in for that, because I really want to actually get into there, because apparently there's no data caps. And yes, I just did hit that barrier with the trailer. So now I have to try to back up and then get closer to that fence on the right hand side so I can get into that area. I'm so happy that I went this way, because I was thinking as I was pulling up in here that I was actually gonna have to try to figure out how I can turn around, because normally on these ones you're parking back over here where I'm aiming towards. That's normally where you're having to park to. But they had me parking over here, so I was so happy when I saw that it was over there. Now, I know what you're thinking. Get ready for the 532 point turn. That is actually not going to happen on this one. We're not doing a 532 point turn. I refuse to do that one this time. So we're actually, I found it a little bit easier when we're actually parking at nighttime. Because the nighttime, I can actually see the little squares on the ground, the little markers of where we're actually supposed to be. I can see those a little bit better. So we haven't really done any turns. So this is going to be the first one we're having to go forward, because before we were just getting in line for where we were supposed to be. We were just getting in line. That's all we were doing before. We were still pulling into the yard technically. Now we are going forward. Now we're going back again, and just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There we go. We parked. Yes. 2 times on this video we did not have to do a 500 point turn. Now we got our 12,000 for this one, so that does help us out and makes it so we can do some upgrades. So what I'm explaining here is that I'm actually going to drive over to the shop, because I know normally I do not do the edits with you guys while we're actually recording. So I'm actually telling you I'm going to take off, I'm going to go over to the shop that's right down over here, and we're going to actually do some upgrades on the truck while you guys are with us. So I am saying that, and I will set the marker, and then we will be back in just a moment where we can actually go over this. Okay, so we made it over to the shop, and I've already done the repairs on there, so we are actually going to go in here and we are going to look at the upgrades. So we have that one that we need to do. It's going to cost us $12,000 just to upgrade our chassis. There is a higher powered engine. It's only 10 horsepower, but it's going to cost way more than what we can afford. So we're not going to be doing that one. Now there is another 18-speed shifter, which has a retarder on it. Now the retarder I've never actually used, and it's costing another $7,000 just to have a retarder on our transmission. I've never used a retarder, so why am I going to pay for a retarder? So we decided not to go with the retarder just for that fact, is because of that. I never use it, so why would I pay for it, right? So other than that, we did the chassis, we upgraded the chassis, but that's really the only thing, because the engine, it costs too much for us to do that, so I can't really justify that one. So we are going to confirm for that. Now we're going to go into the trailer, because we didn't really do that many upgrades to the trailer. So we are actually going to do some upgrades. We can't really upgrade the length. We already have the max for where we are right now. We can't do the insulate because it costs way too much. So we are actually going to go right over into the accessories for it, and we are going to upgrade the tires, because yes, we want to have the better tires. So we're going to have the wides on here as well. We're going to go with the wide chrome, and then we got to go to the tires, and then we have our Goodyears. Do the same thing for the rear axle here, and then also go over for them. There we go. Now there is one section that I realized after I went through all of these upgrades and I already exited the shop, we forgot to put the Goodyear in white. But we did go for the windscreen on the back and then windscreen on the side. Now later on you will see me do the other side, don't worry. We thought about doing the chromed wall front. Now I wish there was a chrome across the entire trailer. I really want to have the chrome around the entire trailer, however, I can't. Now I did go through and I looked at the different ones for the back, and I did like the windscreen on the back more than any other ones. So we can't do anything with the bumper. We did do the exclusive for the mud flaps though. So we have those ones on there, and we are at 11,000 of our 13,000 that we actually needed. So we went back to the standard ones of them because that was really expensive. And then we came back up and we undid the chrome because the chrome was expensive, very expensive. So we dropped it down to just under 8,000 for that. So again, we have other ones later on. So when we get to levels 14 and 16, that actually curve in, makes it a little bit nicer. Other than that, yeah. So I paid for everything. Then I came in to see about a paint job, because I wanted to see if we could do a different paint job. So I came in and I looked. I was trying to see if there was any way to get to black to try to match our truck, because I wanted to do that one. The only problem is it is super expensive. It was $10,000, which was more than what we could afford. And this is where I realized we did not have the windscreen on this side. So I had to add that one in. So threw that one on there and then looked at the price, and way too expensive. So we had to go back to our default white. So we went back to that one. Later on, we are going to go through and we are going to upgrade the color of the trailer. So we will do that one later on. So I did that, exited out of here, and then we came out to actually look at the truck. So we looked at the truck, and that's where I realized I forgot to put the white on the Goodyear. Now I did not go back in. We are not going to be upgrading that one yet. No, we are not going to upgrade that one yet. We are going to do that the next time we go to a shop. That's when we will actually upgrade that to actually have the Goodyear in white. That's what we're going to do. We're not going back into the shop again to do that one. Again, we don't have much money. We are down to 4,000 again. So that will end our episode here. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Other than that, drive safe, and we will see you next time.